Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I think that you have known the trigonometric functions, sine, cosine, etc. Anyway, we will take a look about them. First, we start by the semi-equilateral triangle. A semi-equilateral triangle is half an equilateral triangle. So here we have an equilateral triangle. We draw the perpendicular from a vertex to the opposite side. This height divides the triangle into two triangles. Each triangle is called semi-equilateral triangle. And these two triangles are congruent. They are congruent. So here we have a semi-equilateral triangle. The angles in a semi-equilateral triangle are 60, 30, 60, 90, or 60, 30, 90, the same. Why? Because here 90, 60, we still have 30. 30, and this angle is 60, so we still have for the other half 30. Then this height is at the same time bisector of this angle. Bisector of this angle. So when we see a triangle having the angle 30, 60, 90, we say that this triangle is a semi-equilateral triangle. This side is equal, the side facing the angle 30, the side facing angle 30 is equal to what? To half this side. The three sides in an equilateral triangle are equal. So the side facing 30 equals to what? Equals to half the hypotenuse. And the side facing 60, how to calculate the side facing 60? Assume that this side is S. According to Pythagorean theorem, h square equals s square plus h over 2 all square. We will get s equals h radical 3 over 2. The side facing 60 equals hypotenuse radical 3 over 2. In a semi-equilateral triangle, we have hypotenuse, side facing 30 equal hypotenuse over 2, side facing 60 equals hypotenuse radical 3 over 2. Right isosceles triangle, we have a square. We divide the square into two equal parts by a diagonal. We got what? A right isosceles triangle. Then the equal sides SS, and here the hypotenuse. What are the relations between H and S? According to Pythagorean theorem, h square equals s square plus s square equals to s square, h equals s radical 2, and s equals h over radical 2 equals h radical 2 over 2. Side equal hypotenuse radical 2 over 2, and hypotenuse equals side radical 2. Sine and cosine of an oriented angle. Trigonometric circle. What is a trigonometric circle? A trigonometric circle is an oriented circle of radius 1 unit. The oriented circle, it means a positive sense of motion is chosen, and this positive sense is the anti-clockwise motion. Here is the positive sense, which is the opposite sense of the clockwise. Then here we have the trigonometric circle. Consider the orthonormal system OXY and draw from A, which this point is taken as an origin. We measure from A to M an angle alpha. Angle alpha in the center equal to the measure of the arc which intercepts. What is the cosine alpha? Cosine alpha is the abscissa of M, and sine alpha is the ordinate of M. If we draw from M the perpendicular to MH perpendicular to OH is cosine, MH is sine alpha. MOA, like this, when we write MOA equals alpha, it means the geometric angle. MOA, the geometric angle alpha, the angle seen by our eyes. And OM is called an oriented angle. So it is equal alpha plus some complete revolutions or minus some complete revolutions. Calculation of the sine and the cosine of some remarkable angles. So here is A, the origin of the oriented angles, H, angle 60, pi over 3, pi is 180 degree, pi over 3 is 60 degrees, and here we have 90, 60, 90, we still have 30. The triangle, this triangle is what? Is semi-equilateral. Here the hypotenuse is 1. Side facing theory, which is the cosine OH, side facing theory equals half the hypotenuse over 2. The hypotenuse is 1, then half. The side facing pi over 3, which is MH, equals hypotenuse radically 3 over 2. Then cosine pi over 3 equals half, sine pi over 3 equals radically 3 over 2. If we take the angle 0, angle 0, it means what? The angle between OA and OM is 0. Then the point M will be where? Will be at A. M and A are confounded. Cosine angle 0 is the abscissa of A. The abscissa of A is 1 and the ordinate is 0. So cosine angle 0 is 1, sine angle 0 is 0. Here the point B of coordinates 0, 1. And when the angle OM equals pi by 2, the point M and B will be confounded. Then cosine pi over 2 equals 0, equals the abscissa of B, and sine pi by 2 equals 1, the ordinate of B. Cosine pi, angle pi from A to A prime is pi. Then M will be where? Will be at A prime. Cosine of angle pi equals the abscissa of A prime equals minus 1, and sine of angle pi is the ordinate of A prime, which is 0. B prime, the angle from A to B prime is pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 in the positive sense, 3 pi by 2 in the positive sense, or minus pi by 2 in the opposite sense, in the negative sense. Then we can measure the angle OA, OB, either from positive sense or from negative sense. The angle cosine 3 pi by 2 is the abscissa of B prime. The abscissa of B prime is 0, and the ordinate of B prime is minus 1. Cosine 3 pi by 2, 0, sine 3 pi by 2 equals minus 1. Symmetry of a point. consider a point M of coordinates AB. N, the symmetric of M with respect to x prime x. Compare CD to AB. C equals A and D equals minus B. M above x-axis and below the x-axis. So B is positive, D is negative, but in absolute value they are equal. So D equals minus B. P is the symmetric of M with respect to the y-axis. P and M have the same y and opposite abscissa. Same y, opposite abscissa. P is the symmetric of M with respect to y-axis. We have E equals minus A and F equals B. The symmetric of M with respect to O is the symmetric of P with respect to x-axis. So they have the same x and opposite y's. G equals what? G equals E and H equal minus F. Or G equal minus A and H equals minus B. Here is the trigonometric circle. Consider the angle alpha. Here we have the angle alpha, the point M here, the extremity of the oriented arc alpha of coordinates cosine alpha, sine alpha. The point P, the angle OA, OP, the angle OA, OP, oriented angle, or the geometric angle AOP is equal to what? To pi minus alpha, pi minus alpha. Then the coordinates of P are what? Cosine pi minus alpha, sine pi plus alpha, sine pi minus alpha. Q, from A to Q we have pi plus alpha. The coordinates of Q are cosine pi plus alpha, sine pi plus alpha. Q and M are symmetric with respect to O. Then cosine pi plus alpha equal minus cosine alpha, sine pi plus alpha equal minus sine alpha. For example, cosine pi plus pi by 3 equals minus cosine pi by 3. Cosine pi plus alpha equal minus cosine alpha. The third quadrant. In the first quadrant, the cosine is positive, sine is positive. In the second quadrant, cosine negative, sine positive. In the third quadrant, cosine is negative and sine is negative. Both are negative. In the fourth quadrant, cosine is positive, sine is negative. Cosine pi plus alpha equals minus cosine alpha. So cosine pi plus pi by 3 equal minus cosine pi by 3. Cosine pi by 3 half, so minus half. Sine pi plus pi by 3 equal minus sine pi by 3 equals minus radical 3 over 2.